Hello, my name is Anthony YALI and I'm a 2018 Mandela Washington Fellow. I'm the founder and CEO of Canal Maize Farmers Limited, a health food company delivering nutritious maize flour meals in Uganda. Welcome to Agripreneurship, a path to the future. This lesson is entitled Investing in Agriculture. In this lesson, you learn what opportunities are available for accessing financing in agriculture and what the options are beyond traditional financing avenues you can access for your agricultural idea. Africa's agricultural growth faces several structural problems that pose risks for investment. Understanding these problems and unlocking the potential within them helps reduce risks for entrepreneurs interested in investing in agriculture. I want to share with you how, as entrepreneurs, you can partner with farmers, landowners, and crop traders to create an ecosystem that benefits all of us. Let us first understand what you as an entrepreneur bring to the table in this partnership. The first thing you have is an idea you want to turn into a business. Your idea could be about acquiring land to grow crops, or acquiring crops to add value to them, or acquiring added value crops to resell to customers. With your idea, you bring to the table the research you've made. It could be customer discovery, which is understanding who your real customers will be. And with this, I mean, who are the people who are going to pay for your product or service. You could be bringing to the table technology you know and you want to use in agriculture, product research and development for the type of product you want to put on the market, or it could be new crops and new farming systems you want to implement, or even it could be farming as has been practiced but on a large scale for profit. With your wonderful idea, maybe you've developed a business plan and gone to banks for financing and been turned down. Most banking institutions and other lenders often require that your business has a history of positive cash flows for a period longer than a year, collateral or even insurance, something you may not have. And because of the nature of agriculture, most banks shy away from lending because of the uncertainty in the business. You may have also asked family for funding and they have turned you down. Now you're feeling disappointed and dejected and you want to give up. Entrepreneurs everywhere face these challenges. Some give up, but real entrepreneurs find a way around these challenges. Let us now understand ways you can go around these challenges. The important thing to understand is who are the people in your value chain. If you want to grow crops, these people will be landowners, landholders, labor providers, seed sellers, tool and equipment sellers, transporters, and buyers when your crops are ready for harvest. If you're intending to add value, for instance, to grains, you need to also understand the people in the value chain, from the grain farmers, traders in villages, and big traders in towns and exporters. All these people in your value chain need to make a profit. Some have settled for low prices because they have difficulty finding reliable labor to harvest their products or getting the products to the market and don't have alternatives. Some don't know the additional way they can add value and earn more. In most instances, some have created cooperatives that are actually struggling to get the right visionary leader to steer them to growth. If you have leadership, business, and organizational skills, this leader could be you. How do you then come in this chain when you have little or no capital at all? How do you get to find out who these people are when you know nobody? And how do you earn their trust when you find them? All across Africa, there is land and there are farmers. But you cannot go everywhere. What you do is narrow your idea to the exact business you want to create. If you're going to grow coffee or maize or rice or vegetables, ask your friends, business associates, or research the internet where your specific crop is grown. Once you've found places where your crops are grown, you may need to further narrow it to land ownership systems and availability of land. as well as assessing the security situation for those in conflict areas. The next logical step is try and see if in your contacts on social media you have someone you know who comes from the area. If you don't, take the bus to the town. When you reach the community, find the local leader and be his or her guest. Introduce yourself and be prepared to discuss in detail what brings you to their area. It's been my experience that most of them will actually ask you to stay in their homes for the night and introduce you to valuable contacts. You need to be open and clear about what you want. If you want land to hire, say so. If you want to find someone with a lot of land that is idle and you would love to partner with them, say so. In most cases, you'll find that most people that have idle land will want you to partner with them. Now that you've found land, what comes next? You need labor. Remember, being introduced to residents by the local leader gives you a lot of credibility. So, where do you find the labor when you have little or no capital? You go back to the people who were asking you to use their land. Tell them you can't use all their land, but you can work with all of them and provide them an opportunity to earn an income. Ask them to partner with you, grow crops, weed and harvest, and you all will share in the profits. Some will be excited, some will pull out. Find those excited and draw them a 3-year picture and show them what they will have earned when working with you. Show them how their lives will have improved. You now have labor. If you have some capital, you can give them wages to feed their families. If you don't have capital or money to pay wages, rotate the days each comes to work, like twice a week at your farm, and give them time to work on their individual businesses. By now, you've cultivated a relationship, you've interacted with the village and have figured out who has livestock in case you need manure, and who has seeds in case you need seeds. Normally, partners and investors will need assurances and guarantees, which you can put down in an agreement. Crafting terms of an agreement is very important. You need to be clear about what the take for each party will be, including what will be the take for the business. This agreement should specify the objectives of the partnership, profit sharing, reinvestment, and what happens when a party pulls out. And it is important that you draw terms that will not make it easy for the landowner to terminate the agreement without cause or notice. I would encourage you to buy things locally, be involved in their lives, listen to their stories, and offer solutions. Be part of them. Keep your agreements. Better you don't share on the profits than betray them. Agribusiness is a profitable and rewarding venture. 2 years is basically 4 harvest seasons, and during this period, you could have saved some money, enough to aid you in buying land if that's your mission. Potentially, you could help them start a cooperative and find investors that have interest in cooperatives to support them. A cooperative is a group of farmers or ranchers that have come together to pool their resources in an effort to gain economic benefits that they could not achieve alone. In a cooperative, the members are able to jointly purchase supplies, negotiate sales agreements, and market their products. Being in a cooperative can also make an enterprise more attractive to lenders, as risk is spread over several farms instead of just one. And what if you don't want to grow crops, but you need to add value to coffee or maize or rice? Where do you start? Go to the people with the crops you're interested in. If you're interested in maize, you'll find their cooperatives selling grains. Talk to them. Sometimes you can position yourself to be the representative on the initiative, and once started, you learn the system, and before the day ends, you have created solid contacts to supply you on credit. The most important thing again, keep and honor your word. The opportunity of creating market access for farmer products is enormous. You could agree with producers to connect them to markets for a fee. Finding markets involves looking for people who will pay for the farmer's products. In finding a market, the key is determining who is able to pay and for what product. You need to locate those who use certain products and why they use them. Be sure to write down names, affiliations, contact information, and their needs. Reach out to them and connect them to goods and products. Farming, like any other business, requires tools and equipment and sometimes heavy machinery, which are capital intensive. This is where partnering with farmers becomes more important. Organized groups of farmers have more chances of acquiring equipment on lease than a lone sole farmer. If you need, for instance, to start a milling business for maize and you don't have the money and machinery, you could talk to the mill owner to focus on milling for you. You could invest some money in expanding his mill capacity. Almost every village or community has a small mill. Look around for who has equipment and machinery you're interested in, which they may be using on a small scale, and discuss how you could use their facility. Some may be willing to expand the machine capacity at their own cost if they see you as a reliable customer. Lastly, there are many people with money in your community, but they don't have the time to go and farm. You could interest them in financing your farms for a share of the profit. Draw the picture of farming, for instance, 200 acres or rearing 20,000 goats or chicken, and the joy of them bringing family and friends over the weekend and holidays to visit the project. There are many ways that entrepreneurs can find success in agriculture. We can all help modernize and expand the agricultural sectors in our respective countries. Perseverance, creativity, and being a reliable and ethical partner is key. After you've completed all the lessons in this course at yali.state.gov, you can test your knowledge and earn a YALI network certificate.